Harboring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
POS operator, she said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge.
Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Good morning and welcome to Open Air on Atlantic Television Network. Open Air is the network's flagship political platform through which trending political news, events and stories are stakeholders. Through these conversations, ATN uses political talks about specific issues, party system and actor to explore and engender positive impact to the society. On Open Air, we look at the stories. First, Rivers crisis, developing stories. Honorable Kojombo faction heads to Supreme Court. Pressures mount on Governor Subara to exit PDP. And then on to Delta State, DCEC initiates peace accord for election participants. On Idogulba, PDP local government council tenures by 6 months. On Samoa agreement, federal government laments negative reportage concerning EU pact. And on National Assembly, Rep Speaker says Parliament to enhance citizens' engagement. Do not go away. When we come back from this break, we'll delve right into the show.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
POS operator, she said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are? Our money we put in the bank.
POS operator, she said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister.
3,000 of people are the
What Nigerians can come and salvage us from where we are?
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Joining me on Open Air this morning is Honorable Don Oparaji, ESQ. He's a legal practitioner, member Nigerian Human Rights Commission. He's also the secretary on the Blueprint Development Committee. Good morning, Honorable Don.
Good morning.
Welcome to Open Conversation.
It's my pleasure.
Also with me on the show this morning is Zoe Solomon Tamunotoye. Zoe is a lecturer and development expert. He's also the national president, Rivers Emancipation Movement. movement. Good morning, Zoe, and welcome to Open Conversation.
Thank you, Choma. It's always my pleasure.
All right, and on to the story. Honorable Victor Okojombo and other members of the River State House of Assembly loyal to the governor of River State, Satinlayi Fubara, said they have appealed the Court of Appeal judgment that voided the State High Court decision that gave them power to serve as Speaker and members of the state legislature. Jumbo said they were already at the Supreme Court challenging the judgment of the Appeal Court delivered, which held that Justice Charles Wali of the State High Court lacked the jurisdiction to entertain the matter of the state legislature. The Court of Appeal on Thursday, in a suit filed by Amehule and others, declared the High Court order that barred them from parading as Speaker and lawmakers null and void. Jumbo, who disclosed this while addressing lawmakers during their plenary at the temporary facility used for legislative businesses in Port Harcourt on Friday, clarified that the action was necessitated by the fact that they strongly believe that the Court of Appeal erred in it when it held that the State High Court lacks jurisdiction to hear and determine the suits. Jumbo declared that he remained the authentic Speaker because there cannot be two houses of assembly in the state, reiterating that the seats of Honorable Martin Amehule and 24 other former lawmakers remained vacant as declared by the then Speaker, Honorable Edison Ehi, on 13th December 2023. He said that there cannot be two houses of assembly in Rivers State, or indeed any state in Nigeria, and that the House of Assembly, with him as the Speaker, is the only House of Assembly in Rivers State. He urged the Independent National Electoral Commission to promptly conduct a by-election and fill the vacant seats in Rivers State House of Assembly. Let me start with you, Zoe. What is your reaction to this move and statement by Honorable Okojombo?
Well, I want to believe that the states, the governor has a very competent Attorney General. I know that the Attorney General is very competent. He has been in the field. He's a son. So I want to believe that the government have good advisors, competent advisors, to advise them on legal matters. However, looking at this case, in my opinion, there is no need for Okojombo and the rest of them to go to the Supreme Court. It's not everything. Look, River State is becoming very notorious. You know, River State has been projected in a notorious and a state that is now being always going to the courts for any little thing. The judgment that was delivered a few days ago by the appeal court has not changed anything. It has not, there is no cause for alarm. The Okojombo fashion there's nothing threatening their position as Speaker and the legal members of the River State House of Assembly. The appeal court has only ruled that the State High Court does not have jurisdiction on matters that has to do with the State House of Assembly in terms of declaring the validity or otherwise of any member of the River State House of Assembly. That is the statement and the ruling of the courts. It doesn't affect the substantive matter. So there is, for me, except they just want to play the political game, keep going to court to prolong matters, I see nothing threatening the Okojombo's speakership and his members in the House of Assembly for him to begin to move to the courts. They would have leave it at that point, and so that the Amehule fashion can still go to the Federal High Court, just as the appeal court have said. They are the people that should be pursuing the court, not Okojombo, because by virtue of that judgment, to the best of my knowledge, nothing is at stake. His office is not threatened. and nothing is disputing the fact that he is the legal speaker of the House. Mind you, Okojombo came to be speaker, drawing from the vacancy that was created by A.E. Edison's speakership, which at that material time was legal and the constitutionally recognized speakership of the Rivers State House of Assembly. So most of the time, when one begins to wonder, I still believe that they have the rightful and competent legal advisors. But in my opinion, in this particular judgment of the appeal court, there was no need for the Okojombo fashion to begin to head to the Supreme Court. It's all politics, or I don't know what to call it, but that they would have just stayed put, carry out their function as the members of the Rivers State House of Assembly until the Amewula fashion. You can see after the celebration on social media and everything, they have not done anything because they know the implication of the judgment. So that is my immediate reaction to that action by Okojombo by going to the Supreme Court.
All right, we'll still come back to certain concerns you have raised when you were making your statement. But first of all, let me hear from Honorable Don. What is your take on this matter?
Anyway, sir, good morning. You see, I've listened to my friend and brother here, and I think I had to quickly rebut certain insinuations. It is not the Amewule faction that needs to approach the Federal High Court. If you are in tandem with the orders or the judgment of the Court of Appeal as delivered on the 5th day of this month, you would have realized that the court first in their first order said the appeal has merit. That's number one. Number two, the court held that the lower court, that is the trial court, that gave those interlocutory orders. Mind you, I have to make it clear that at the higher court, the matter of Okojombo and his clique were still ongoing. The matter were still ongoing. They were not fully determined. So what the Amewule faction, of the assembly was doing was to challenge the interlocutory orders that was made by Justice Wale. Now, in order 2, in the enrolled order of that judgment, order 2 made it clear that the trial court, that was the court of the Justice Wale court, they were not supposed to entertain the matter in the first place, considering section 272(3) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. I am sure they were aloof of that provision before going to the trial court. So the Court of Appeal voided the entire proceeding, and whatever determination, judgment, orders, or rulings that may have been gotten therefrom. And the third order, the court said the parties should return to the status quo ante bellum. That is where they were before the matter went to the trial court. That is the High Court of Rivers State. And further in that judgment, the court held that before now, there was no contention of the speakership of Right Honorable Martin Chike Amewule. Hence, it was not an issue at all. So, the issue of speakership, who is the right speaker, or whether they have defected or not, has been given a clear determination. The Court of Appeal have laid those issues to rest. And by implication, it would mean that everything that the House of Assembly members did, the 27 House of Assembly members did, were right in the eyes of the law. It's just like when the trial court gave them a ruling, and then they were all happy over the place and said everything that these other people did was wrong. This is the same position. So now that the Court of Appeal have laid the issue to rest, he said status quo ante bellum. It means where the parties were originally before the matter went to the trial court. So if they hadn't had an issue, why would they be going to the Supreme Court? That's even the question we should ask ourselves. See, it's not even just going to the Supreme Court. What is your claim? what are your grounds for going to the Supreme Court? See, that judgment, if you read the entire judgment, I pray when the CTC copies will be made available to the entire public, you will be able to see. If you be able to read the entire, you will see that the Court of Appeal took time. They didn't rush it. That was why it was, Court of Appeal, when they were taking time to determine each issues that was before the court. So they didn't rush it. So when the Oko Jumbo faction has said, they didn't say Amewule is the speaker, it's a misconception of the judgment. Because what the Court of Appeal said was that, one, the speakership of Chike Martin Amewule was not in contention. Before now, it was not even an issue. They did not even raise it as an issue. Number two was that parties should return to status quo ante bellum. And that three, the court technically killed the woman and said the entire proceeding, including every other judgment or rulings that arose from the proceedings of the State High Court were void. And it remains illegal and void. And so once the Superior Court has made that order, what else do you expect? It is a child who if somebody has failed the exam, he will start looking for the people who did not allow him to read. Say, this one was not allowing me to read. That's how I failed my exam. So what is here today is that as of today, the Court of Appeal have given mandate to Chike Martins Amewule and 27 lawmakers. And by implication, it will mean that everything they had done within the period remains legal until either court sets those items aside. That's the position of the law.
See, I would like to come in, yes.
Right.
While I will give it to my colleague that he is entitled to his own opinions, but it is worrisome being a legal practitioner. Probably these are the interpretation that is making the Martins Amewule and co to be celebrating on social media. All that he has said were not, look, they are simple language, simple English that were in the judgment. The Court of Appeal never and did not intend to touch the substantive matter.
Which was?
When you said the Court of Appeal never.
And never intend to.
What exactly
was? Remember, he said they went to, to challenge the interlocutory order. The Court of Appeal never made mention of anything with the relation to. The judgment was that the trial court, like he said, does not have jurisdiction as far as the House of Assembly members with regards to whether they are legal members or not of the River State House of Assembly has been nullified by the appeal court. I'm coming. Did
the ruling of the appeal court, did the judgment of the appeal court say otherwise?
Of course, it didn't attend to that matter. It did not attend to the substantive matter. If you have the judgment, let's look at it. The substantive matter is the interlocutory order that was given by the trial court.
On what?
Restraining or totally stopping the Amewule and his faction themselves as members of the House of Assembly member, thus holding to the fact that their seats in the River State House of Assembly has been declared vacant, has been declared by the former speaker, Hiye Edison, Right Honorable Hiye Edison. That is a substantive matter. So it was based on that the Okojongo, when he took over from the Hiye Edison leadership of the House, went to the court to substantiate his position as the Speaker of the House. Went to the court.
Which court?
The trial court.
Do you remember the judge?
I can't remember the
Justice Wale.
Justice Wale, thank you. Now gave that judgment.
Do you remember the judge that also ruled on Edison Hiye's matter?
I don't remember the details of the names of
Justice Danaguko.
Yes,
so
but
I want you to be clear so you don't mix it up.
Okay, yes, but what I'm really emphasizing on are the issues at hand. So it's based on that the Jumbo faction went to court because these people are still parading themselves. They are still trying to cause crisis in the state. So for that reason, the Jumbo faction went to the trial court. The funny thing is, the matter is still before the court. It has not been adjudicated.
Which court?
It's still at the trial court. The substantive matter is still at the trial court before Amewuli and his fashion went to the Wale court you are referring to now. Yes, where the matter is the substantive matter is before the Amewuli fashion went to the appeal court, challenging the interlocutory order that was ordered. Okay, and that is where the appeal court now gave judgment that the trial court does not have jurisdiction based on the section he has quoted, section 272, that they don't have jurisdiction. So what is that return to status quo is talking about before they went to the appeal court? Is the fact that Edison have declared these assembly members seat vacant, and there was a vacuum by virtue of the resignation of Edison, and which brought Okojumbo to become speaker. That is what they went to do. So having given judgment, the appeal court having given judgment that there is no jurisdiction for the trial court, is for them now to go to the rightful court that has jurisdiction on the matter. So don't interpret the appeal court judgment in a way that will confuse you.
Can I respond to him? Because
you will respond to him, but we need to quickly go on a break. We'll be back shortly and continue with this story. Do not go away.
Okay.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on The Fact Today, only on ATN.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Access to our money we put in the bank. The POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought very firmly. Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, social economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. The POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth: the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which are you.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought a very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
from the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains. Through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this as property.
The
Because we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the Tonte. Who can come and salvage us?
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now I want to read out the issues as handled by the Appeal Court, Honorable Zoe, in response to some of the concerns we raised in reaction to what Honorable Don has said.
Mr. Zoe,
Now,
not Honorable Zoe.
Honorable Don.
Yes.
That was what I said. Now, issue 1. Record of appeal is not invalidated. Therefore, the appeal has life. Now, issue 2. Honorable Martins Amehule's led River State House of Assembly have the right of appeal as their constitutional rights cannot be taken away from them. Issue 3. The Court of Appeal said that the Court of Appeal has jurisdiction to entertain the matter. Issue 4. Only the Federal High Court and no other court has the right and powers with the jurisdiction to determine cases of tenures and vacancies of House of Assembly, governors and presidents, and not the State High Court, River State High Court inclusive. Issue 5. The trial court, in this instance, River State High Court, has no justification whatsoever to entertain the matter. Issue 6. From the foregoing, it is of the view of the learned judges that there was no contention on the speakership of Right Honorable Martins Amehule from the records, and therefore remains the speaker. Now, issue 7. The injunction granted by the River State High Court against Right Honorable Martins Amehule led River State House of Assembly is null and void. Now, from this whole thing, is it clear that the speakership of, according to the appeal court, the speakership of Honorable Martins Amehule is not in contention?
Does it say that he's the speaker?
All right. Let's look at.
Does it say that he's the speaker?
Hold on. Let's look at the ruling of Justice Wali that was invalidated by the appeal court. Shall we? All right. It says, it is hereby ordered as follows. Oh, let me start from the. He said, upon this motion on notice coming up before His Lordship, Honorable Justice C.N. Wale, for hearing and determination, and after hearing, Sami A. Somiari San with C.D. Kune Behon, ESQ, O.V. Bondude, ESQ, K.O. Ogunjobi, B.S. Orukpabo, ESQ, O.J. Ifejeka, and T. Apirioku, ESQ, for claimants / applicants as Chief Ferdinand Obe San with M.I. Okoro, ESQ, and Emeka Onyeka, ESQ, for the 1st to 25th, defendants and respondents, and Dr. and D.I. Iboroma San, Honorable Attorney General of River State, and then N.C. Rebu, ESQ, Director, Ministry of Justice, River State, Femi Idowu, Principal State Counsel, and C.A.O.T., State Counsel, for the 26th and 27th defendants / correspondents. It is hereby ordered as follows. 1. An order of interlocutory injunction is granted restraining the 1st to 25th defendants from parading and holding out themselves as members of the River State House of Assembly and or sitting at the auditorium of the House of Assembly quarters located at off Aba Road, Port Harcourt, or at any other place whatsoever, to purport to carry out the legislative business of the River State House of Assembly and their legislative seats, having been declared vacant. I repeat that again. pending the hearing and determination of the substantive suits.
Yes.
Second, number 2, an order of interlocutory injunction is hereby made restraining the 26th to 28th defendant from dealing with, interfacing, in this case, that is the governor, dealing with, interfacing, accepting any resolutions, bills, and or howsoever interacting with the 1st to 25th defendant given at Port Harcourt under the seal of the court and the hand of the presiding judge this 29th day of May 2024. This was reaction before I give Honorable Don the floor.
Nothing is different from what you have read out. This is what they went to challenge at the appeal court. And this is what the appeal court gave judgment. By virtue of the fact that the trial court does not have jurisdiction, it automatically states that every other thing they have, the trial court have orders or interlocutory orders that they have been given are null and void. That is not in dispute. And the Okojombo is not challenging that. What they are challenging now is the appeal court decision that the trial court does not have jurisdiction. Is what they have gone to, and which, for me, in my opinion, is not necessary. So the substantive issue of the fact that the what's his name now, the Martins Ameula, Right Honorable Martins Ameula, led, members and his friends, cycle of friends membership of the River State House of Assembly has been declared vacant. That has not been addressed by any court of law in Nigeria.
Was it before Justice Wallace
declared that their seats vacant by virtue of the fact that at that material time he was a recognized speaker of the River State House of Assembly. So that is the substantive matter we are talking about, not in terms of interlocutory orders. The appeal court only ruled based on the issues that arise from the trial court ordered by Justice Wale.
Which court declared this Nehe Speaker of the House?
No, that is not a function of the court. No, that is not a function of the court. The leadership of the House is totally responsible by the House of Assembly. It's only when there are faction or people that are not satisfied with the processes that a leadership of the House has emerged that can approach the court. Yes.
Very quickly, before Honorable Don will have his say. If you recall, Edison Nehe was suspended with Okojombo, Sokari Goodboy, and one other person. They were suspended. They were in suspension and had their own plenary where they elected Edison Nehe. Now, knowing that they were in suspension, they had to go to court. The Court of Justice Danaguku of River State High Court, to recognize Edison Nehe. If it was, in some quarters, some say it was illegal, some say it's legal. However, let's look at it, the way the legislature runs. It's just like Senator Ningi being in suspension and emerging as a speaker while in suspension. It makes sense to me. No, hold on. They had to go to court. And Justice Danagugu declared Edison Nehe the Speaker of River State House of Assembly. Now, let's just fast forward to Appeal Court. Appeal Court has said, even though they were responding to the prayers with regards to Justice
Wale's court, yes.
But they have said that in the first instance, the State High Court, including River State High Court, does not have any justification, does not have the jurisdiction to entertain issues pertaining to River State High Court or pertaining to state houses of assembly, pertaining to governors and presidents, as the case may be. So I am trying to understand what you're saying. And you have also said again that the Amehule is still not the speaker, that his seat is still vacant and still not the speaker. That was why I had to bring out the ruling or the order of Justice Wale, as well as what the appeal court, the issues that appeal court dealt with, so that you can
agree that the court has voided their speakership. Because if the court voids the orders, rulings, or proceedings that was ongoing. Remember that the matter was ongoing. If the court voids that the court did not have jurisdiction and asks the parties to go back to status quo ante bellum, what the court means is that Amewule is the authentic Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, and that too, that Amewule's speakership was not in contention. We must underline that word of the Court of Appeal. The court already made it clear, because you look at it, the appeal that went to Court of Appeal was on the interlocutory rulings or orders of Justice C.N. Wale, and that to also find out whether the lower court had the jurisdiction to handle the matter. And if in law you cannot put something on nothing and expect it to stand, that is what Lord Denny has said. Amounts to illegality and is void. So the idea of saying that the court did not say Amewule is the speaker, that was not the issue. The issue was that they went to court to challenge the orders that was made by the court, and that to see whether the lower court had jurisdiction, and the court didn't even want to waste its time. The court went straight to the matter and said, first of all, in order for us not to even waste our entire time in this appeal, does the court even have jurisdiction? That kills the entire matter. So if the court didn't have jurisdiction, then why do we even go into delving into matter to say the issue before the court was, one, the issue of jurisdiction, two, whether the order that was given by the trial court was legal, and the Court of Appeal crowned it in that order too, and said, see, this court, that court that handled this matter, didn't have jurisdiction to handle the matter. And whatever it has done was void ab initio. And that was why prayer 4 or 3 of the enrolled order, if you go, it's because we can't use our phones, I didn't bring the certified copy that I have. Otherwise, I have it on my phone, but you can't bring the phone to this studio. So, you would have seen that in order 3 or 4 of that enrolled order, the court followed it by saying the parties should go back, maintain status quo ante bellum. That is simply, these days when I see social media, see carpenters, bricklayers, taxi drivers, everybody is interpreting court judgment. Now, even people who are not, who do not even know, have not gone to school, will begin to interpret status quo ante bellum, a Latin maxim, not even an English language. Status quo ante bellum. What it means legally is that the court is saying that the parties should go back to the state they were before the matter proceeded to the trial court. That's Justice C.N. Wale's court. So I want to debunk and I want to rebut the opinion of my friend and brother, Zoe, that status quo ante bellum means that it should go back to the court as at when the court gave the order at the lower court. That is not true. What the Court of Appeal held was that the parties, status quo ante bellum should be. That's why if you watch, when court gives an order follows logic. One will follow another, to follow another, to follow another logically. The court couldn't have said status quo ante bellum in order 1. He went to say this appeal is live, it has life. 2, that the Court of Appeal has jurisdiction to entertain this appeal. 3, that the trial court that handled the matter did not have jurisdiction, and that whatever they have done was void. And 4, the order of the Court of Appeal said parties should return back to status quo ante bellum. And the position would be that interpretation of the law. As a lawyer, of course, it's my duty by what Lord Denning have said in Rondell against was that we as apostles, the judge is the judge, we are all apostles in the temple of justice. So it is a duty on me to tell the society the truth, more especially where it comes to my own profession. So you can hold me by what I say in this particular issue. Status quo ante bellum simply means going back to the state where the parties were before the matter went to the trial.
So now what's the fate of Okojumbo?
Honestly, the truth of the matter is that, anyway, they have right to appeal. Okay? They have the right to go to Supreme Court. But the question is, what are you going to court? Because from what I've heard, is that they want to go and challenge whether the lower court has jurisdiction or not. It is unfortunately, it's going to be a fruitless appeal because the Constitution is very clear on the matter. I would have preferred them to look at another option. To the side of peace. Join the majority and move River State forward. For no reason can 3 or 2 persons form an entire quorum in the River State of Assembly. How? Who will be the speaker? Who will be the majority leader? Who will be the membership? For crying out loud, it's a joke. We must stop it. It's a joke. And I always tell people, the governor should understand that it's his time that is being eaten to. All these periods are periods where the state were supposed to move in direction of good development. They are wasting Governor Fubara's time as a governor of the state.
All right.
Okay, briefly, let me take 2 things. I will come back to the issues you raised before you went to him. First, you made mention of the Constitution is clear. So the Constitution is clear when it comes to Section 272. But the Constitution is not clear when it comes to Section 109. These are the problems from you as a lawyer. Secondly, you said it is Fubara's time that is being eaten. It is the state that I'm coming.
This is an accusation.
I listen to you.
It's an accusation.
I listen to you. You respond. Remember, we have a former governor who stood on a pulpit where the governor was present and declared in the temple of the Lord and declared that I will go into war with you. I may not win the war, but I will frustrate you. And at the end of the day, people will see that you did not perform. Don't forget that. When you say this is Fubara's time that is being wasted, Fubara is just an individual. And this is one thing you people on the other side should come to understand. That it is not about Fubara. It's about the states. It's about the people of River State that are suffering in this whole thing. It's not just Governor Wike and Governor Fubara as you're looking at it. Those are the issues you need to contend with when you're apportioning blame to only one person. Having said that, let me come back. Understand. See, they are making it complicated when they said, where is the evidence of their defection? Did they go to APC? Are they now registered members in APC? Have their name been removed in PDP? All those are not the issue. The Constitution did not look at, or is not interested in all those things. When once you come to the house, you make a public announcement, okay, where people notice that you have declared yourself moving from party A to party B, you automatically forfeit your position.
The Constitution, they will submit later to the Speaker. We are later submitted.
Yes, they did. Before the House, the leader of the House make a pronouncement that they did not stop there.
I didn't. My question.
Then you have to find out. Then you have to find out. They did. They did. There were letters. They did. There is a letter from House of Assembly member. There are letters signed. They went ahead. I'm coming. They went ahead to the court.
You can speak of the proclamation, the televised proclamation. Yes, we are dear letters from this
he used to make the announcement in the house?
Can you give me?
Was his announcement just verbal?
Do you have the copies?
Was his announcement just verbal?
We are asking you.
I'm not in possession. I'm not the leader of their parties. I'm not in possession of that letter. And neither am I Amewule to have that letter in my hand.
And I am telling you that letters were not written. You're insisting that letters were written. If you're insisting that letters were written, then you should be able to prove that.
Okay, the point we are making, I want to go back to your earlier this thing.
You made a statement with regards to 109.
Yes.
If it is self-executing, probably they wouldn't be in court challenging that. If it is self-executing, do not forget. We've discussed this in my show before, and I asked you a question. The law gives you rights to certain things. Do you understand?
Yes.
And probably you have the right to freedom of movement. Right? He said yes. I'm recalling that conversation.
Yes.
And I asked you that you have a right to freedom of movement.
Does it mean you trespass somebody's property?
You said no.
Yes.
And I now said, let's say you trespass into my property and I shoot you. Am I empowered by the law to punish you for breaking the law?
No.
You said no.
Yes.
What do I do? I should go to court.
Yes.
And let courts interpret that you actually trespassed.
Yes.
I am questioning if any part of Nigerian constitution is self-executing.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, with respect to what you have said, even the 109, according to constitution itself, laid down rules of defection. I hope you recall that. And,
yes.
And a judge as well, at some point, has also made clarification in one of his rulings to that effect. Very quickly, you can only answer that, and then you will continue with the statement.
Now, let me, section 109. I've mentioned on this show before.
Is it self-executing?
No. I've mentioned on this show before that Nigeria operates under the pure law school theory. And what does the pure law school theory say? The pure law school theory says that law is anything that the court will give interpretation to or affirm as a law. That's what the Nigerian constitution is running. We are practicing the pure law school theory. The laws we have are not self-executory. They are subject to the interpretations of the court. And that is why under our normal jurisprudence, they will tell you that the legislature is to make laws, the executive is to implement the laws, and the judiciary is to interpret the laws. These are cardinal principles of government. Section 109, subsection 1, paragraph G is not self-executory. I make it clear. It is not self-executory. That a member of the House of Assembly shall lose his seat if he defects from the party that gave him power to another party. That's what the law says. But the question is it automatic? It is not automatic, because the institution responsible to interpret that section of the Constitution have not said so. And may I quickly remind you, my brother, one of the judges of the River State High Court, Justice Bassa, when this same issue of declaring whether 27 lawmakers have lost their seat or not was instituted before his court, Justice Bassa, in his judgment, clearly stated that from all the evidences that has been brought before this court, that it's difficult for him to find any or in a group evidence that supports the fact that these people have defected to another party. That's one position in the judgment. Number two, he said that secondly, as a court, I do not have jurisdiction to entertain this matter. And then number three, he held that the parties that brought the matter before the court lacks jurisdiction. These were the position of Justice Bassa. Before Justice Bassa became a judge, we were doing matters together. So I can assure you of his legal expertise. So what I want to mention to my brother is that let us not shy away from the truth. As a lawyer, I can tell you, take it from me, Nigerian constitution is not self-executory. It is subject to the interpretations of the court. And that's why you go to court to challenge.
Choma, I just pray you also give me enough time to explain.
Time.
So when you're saying that this somebody defecting, so you're saying that when somebody announces defection, he should now go to the courts and ask the judge, have I defected? No. Is my defection allowed? That's interpretation you're giving.
Now, where there is a contention,
I allow you to express.
You ask me a question, let me respond.
No, hold on.
Is it a rhetorical question?
Yes, it's a rhetorical question. I'm not expecting an answer.
Your rhetorical question is actually misinterpreting.
No, I'm not interpreting. Hold on. There's something you said there in the beginning. You want me to lose my this thing on that?
Cannot.
You mentioned that. You reminded me that the what's his name? Eye Edison and Oko Jumbo's their group were suspended by the House. Don't see, when we are saying something, we should be able to look at the circumstances. We should be able to look at the context. I think those are the things the court will also be interested. Remember, by this period, there was a faction already in the House. And that is what led them to the court, seeking for legitimacy. So you can't stand on the ground that Eye Edison was suspended. That suspension does not hold again, because there is already a divide in the House. And each group is...
As at then, the suspension was legal.
What do you
yes,
mean by
as at when Edison, Right Honorable Edison was suspended, the House was intact.
Already the House was not in order.
The House was intact.
That is so why is the suspension coming?
The House was intact.
The suspension is because there is a disagreement.
Was there division?
There is already a disagreement. The people who were suspended does not accept their suspension because they felt they were not rightfully suspended.
The person, not the people.
Hold on. Zoe, I have never seen any member of the House that was suspended that agreed with the suspension, even at the national level.
Yes.
You agree with me. So that is why most times when lawmakers are suspended from the assembly, they go to court or they serve it out. Now, on one hand, you have misinformed the public when you said there was already a faction when they were suspended. The House was won. At the time, Edison Ehe and 4 others were suspended. The House was won. It was after that suspension that there was defection by Martins Amehule and others. So don't misinform the public. You can continue.
Choma, that is your opinion. To say
that
the House is in one, that is your opinion.
That is the position.
If there was no fashion, this other group would have gone ahead to form their own leadership, and then they start struggling for legitimacy in the court.
And after the suspension, there was a defection.
So
now, because there was a defection, of course, they could have seen a lacuna which they built upon.
Very good. Very good. That's the point I'm making.
No, that's not
the point I'm making. That is the point I'm making.
No. You're misinforming.
I have agreed with you that it's not a misinformation. That is a
when you said there was
there is a problem.
Did not agree. Okay,
of course, they did not agree. That is why they have gone to form their leadership.
Hold on. Did they challenge that suspension at that time?
No.
Of course, it's an interpretation when they went and formed their own leadership. But the point you are making,
Zoe, please, you will have your say. I am not against you having your say. What I will not have you do is on an international television misinform the people, because people are listening to you, not just from Nigeria but outside Nigeria. You can make your case for whichever party you have sympathy for. I do not have a problem with that. But build your case on facts and not misrepresentation of facts. You can't say, like I have told you now, I have actually given you a leeway. That you can tell us they were suspended when the House was won. Probably now, this other faction, Amehule, defected. Now, They saw a lacuna that they can build on, and then had their own fashion. You can say that, but when you come out to say
I don't know. No, see, I'm coming. I don't know where the word misrepresentation is coming. You have just said it here. Wait, you have just said it here. I said the division is. They may not come out openly. I did not. I said we are saying the same thing.
No, we are not.
I'm coming. I said they did not come out openly to tell us until we begin to see them in the public.
The suspension was public.
Okay, fine. But the fact that they went and have their own fashion and have their leadership should show you that there is already a division. And that is why, look, the issues in the House of Assembly are totally matters of the House of Assembly. It is when there is a disagreement, as much as they can go creating a fashion and fashional leadership, they can also go to the court. It's only when there is a disagreement and
the suspension.
I can't remember exactly, but I know they were suspended. But this is the point. Following my friend and colleague here going forward, he said we should the other fashion should come to the terms of the truth. What is the truth are we speaking here? The truth is that this formal the people that are putting us, that are sustaining, and I repeat, I'm saying it here again, the people or the institutions that are sustaining the crisis, the political situation in Rivers State are institutional, which is the court and INEC. Because up till now, INEC is I'm bringing INEC because INEC has refused to carry out their responsibility.
Are you aware that INEC has come out to make a statement with regards to Rivers State House of Assembly?
They are playing to the gallery. That is the statement. Because
what was the statement of INEC?
Do you agree that? I'm coming. Do you agree that at that material time, when do you agree Eye Edison at a point in time was the Speaker of the House of Assembly?
He was not.
You're deflecting.
No, I'm not deflecting.
How is INEC playing to the gallery?
Because a letter was sent from the House of Assembly to INEC to conduct an election, informing them that there are vacancies in the Rivers State House of Assembly and they should conduct an election. Why wouldn't they whatever is their response? Why won't INEC conduct an election?
Has INEC responded?
They have responded.
What was their response?
Their response is supposed to conduct an election.
No.
Why will INEC disagree to conduct an election? They said that they have not observed vacancy in the Rivers State House of Assembly. Are they supposed to interpret? Are they supposed to tell the Rivers State House of Assembly whether there is vacant or not? No, they are not.
Now, if a matter is in court, I assume you're a lecturer and you studied political science and you have been, dilly-dallied in politics. Mr. Zoe, if a matter is in court contesting the legitimacy of the seats of these members, are you saying, and if you recall, Justice Omotosho of the Federal High Court had recognized Edison Ehe and also ordered for stay of execution pending
these are post the directives.
Hold on. Justice Omotosho of the Federal High Court gave an order, a subsisting order of interlocutory injunction, recognizing Martin Samehule, right?
Yes.
Martin Samehule, not Chike Amehule. Martin Samehule.
Martin Chike Amehule.
Martin Samehule as the authentic Speaker of the House of Assembly. And then, over the legislative quagmire going on in Rivers State House of Assembly, he ordered for stay of execution, pending the substantive matter, the conclusion of it in court. Now, are you saying that against the order of a Federal High Court that actually has the jurisdiction to entertain that matter, INEC should front the order of a High Court, of a Federal High Court, and run elections when the court is saying stay execution and the court on the other hand has ordered that the court recognizes them as Speaker? What exactly are you trying to say? INEC is an institution on its own, saddled with the responsibility of conducting elections. And INEC has come out to say, as far as we are concerned, certificate of return was given to so and so number of lawmakers in Rivers State. And for now, they are not going to conduct elections because the court has not officially declared any seat vacant. It's in court. So how are you roping INEC in into a matter that is purely judicial.
All what you have said are post the directive of the Rivers State House of Assembly. Remember. So these are the issues. All what you have said
of
are
which
post
Rivers State House of Assembly?
The Rivers State House of Assembly led by A.E. Edison at that material time. Let us not put that. We can't take away that.
What you are saying
so
is
going
this,
forward, no, you have your time. Let me say, going forward, you're talking about going forward. Let's have Rivers people at heart. Let's have the state at heart. And that's why, Choma, if you remember, I've always said on this platform that dialogue is the way forward. As it were now today, looking at the way the courts are dishing out judgment, the solution to the problem of Rivers State is not even in the court, unfortunately. Unfortunately, because the court is supposed to be an arbiter to interpret the law. But today, one court will give judgment in favor of one camp. Tomorrow, another court will give judgment. So, to come out from that quagmire, I have said it. The main gladiators, we were not there when Fubara and Wike begin to ignore. We were not there when they negotiated. We were not there when they did the agreement, whatever. But whatever it is, a governor has been given to Rivers people. Let that governor be. So for us to move forward, the politicians, the gladiators, still have the need. There is still a room for, if they have Rivers State in mind in all they are doing, if it is not for their personal interest, to come back to the dialogue table. They should retrace their step. They should look at the way forward. What do we do in the midst of, to the extent that the president have even intervened, yet it is not working. And this all goes to what the former governor, minister of the federal capital said. He said on a pulpit that I will not fight you. I will not let you to govern peacefully, so that at the end of the day you did not succeed. Right. Now, when Governor Fubara did not succeed, it is Rivers State.
Now,
in a church. In a church. It was said in a church.
Sorry, you cannot substantiate that. That's number one. However, you know, this is the second time you're pushing the blame to the FCT minister.
No, both of them. You have not allowed me to say the part of the governor. No, you have not allowed me. The governor to have his own blame.
Let's bring in the governor, whom you have so said that he is being distracted. The question will be, is the governor actually the distraction that he is suffering? Is he the distraction to himself? If you will recall, one of the issues that led to this conundrum was the Matisa Mewule House of Assembly insisting that the governor should present the budget. You recall that. Now, part of the controversial presidential peace pact by President Bola Tinubu in his efforts to make peace in Rivers State was that the governor should represent the budget to the Martins Amehule-led House of Assembly. This matter went up to appeal court, and an appeal court annulled the presentation of the budget to Edisinehe-led House of Assembly, if you would recall. Now, according to Nigerian Constitution, Honorable Mr. Zuri, appropriation bill must be sent to a House of Assembly, and that proceeding must be held by 2/3 majority of the House. A 4-man assembly cannot legislate over an appropriation bill. Now, for people who want to argue that, in the case of Dariye, the Supreme Court held that, I mean, the lawmakers, let's say in the case of Edisinehe, they can sit, they can legislate. Even in the case of Okojombo, they can sit, they can legislate. However, when it comes to legislative matters that have to do with 1/3 or 2/3 majority of the House, they cannot legislate on such matters. However, Edisinehe, in contravention of the Constitution, together with the governor, legislated and approved an appropriation bill with only 4 lawmakers. How do you make that make sense? An appeal court annulled that proceeding and asked the governor to represent the budget. That was part of the reason, part of the fight that led to this conundrum that we have in Rivers State. So when you are pushing the blame to the FCT minister, I'm trying to make it make sense in this entire picture. How the FCT minister, who is in FCT, doing his own bidding, and the governor, who is seated in Rivers State and has refused to present a budget that has led to this entire crisis, I don't understand. But then, before we move on, you have had your say. Yeah. Very briefly, before we move on to the next one.
Let me even correct something you said. The the members of the House of Assembly under a year were 3, not 4. Not 4. Well, to move further, just like my brother has said, and in fact, I wanted to even say that it's not a time for us to close the story, because we are still within the time discussing the issue before we begin to seek for peace. But the issue is this. See, let us assume that 2 persons will legislate on behalf of a state, assuming without considering. That's a rhetorical question. In the entire River State, 2 persons legislate on behalf of a state, pass budget, and that's the budget the governor is using. And in the wing to try to want to, make a forward unknowingly, they are told the RISEC to begin to make preparations to conduct election. Under which budget? Which approval? These are the things that are hanging on the neck of the governor. And it's unfortunate. I keep saying it. It's unfortunate. If you are a father in a house, and then all you are doing is to play defense, trying to play defense, you cannot move forward. When somebody is after you, you're trying to play defense. In this scenario, the governor has failed to sit down and really think for himself. Should he continue like this? If I even may ask, is it how the governor will use and rule the 4 years in River State under this kind of atmosphere? And how do we go forward? People came out, campaign for you, and stake their effort, their money, everything. I remember the local government, even myself, I campaigned for him. And that was why so the other candidates could not win election, at least even in my units and in my ward. People who ask who is the governor, will bring out his face in our phones and show them. Please vote for him. He's a young man. Today, want to go to Supreme Court, want to challenge the judgment of the Court of Appeal. The governor has not even sat down to ask, what is our hope? What are we going to gain by going to the Supreme Court? What is going to be our grounds of appeal? When the law is clear, they just want to extract money from the man so that they can use it to achieve their ambitions. Is that all River State want to go for? So it is time for us, if they say we want to accept peace, peace is in to accept to move forward, is by agreeing to say that, you see, I have made mistakes. Can we come back to the round table? For crying out loud, Fubara is like every one of us.
Event facts. I will call him out on it.
Okay, so let me just.
I hope you understand that.
Yes, I'm taking that. Now, what you have said is just you just.
Are you asking me a question?
No, I'm not asking you a question. Let me react briefly. You just repeated all the parts of the governor where he has faulted and where he should take responsibility for the way forward. If I sit here, no, I'm not for anybody, of course. My interest is of River State. I will also give you a layout because she asked a question. If the governor's distraction, whether it's self-created, nobody can give himself malaria. There must be a mosquito bite. So the way forward is not to say, governor, this, apportion blame, or the minister, this. The way forward, let's call out the politicians for the interests of River State, because as it is now, of course, both parties have made mistakes here and there. As it is now, it is not also obvious whether we will get the peace we are looking for before the courts, because the courts keep giving judgment that are conflicting, and each party continue to interpret the judgment to themselves. The way forward, let's have River State in mind. Let the major gladiators, the way they agreed before the election and agreed to say you should be governor and I will support you, they should also come back to say after the election which is the way forward. Because like you said, I agree with you. River State cannot. Yes, on the sense that River State cannot continue like this because it is the people that are suffering. So the gladiators should come together and look for the way forward so that we come out of this political quagmire. And one of it is by allowing the electoral process, like the coming local government election. Everybody should come together and agree that we hold the election so that this issue of caretaker and extension of tenure of former local government chairman will be brought to a rest so that we could start from there. Don't say the governor has also tried his part.
But he raised a very salient point.
Which is?
He said, where is the fund to run these elections? The funds being given to WISEC to run election, where is it coming from, considering that the governor is operating without a budget?
No, he made, no, that's not the point. He mentioned that.
He made mention. Did I not hear you right?
No, you heard me right.
He made mention that two people, you said assuming but not conceding. Of course, if there are no crises, if these situations are not there, there is no way two people will be sitting in the House of Assembly making laws. Even the people will confront them.
We're not talking about.
That's not what we are saying.
No, I'm coming at the budget now. We're talking about the budget.
You spoke about council elections. That was right.
Yes.
I brought out his concerns and addressed
yes, I agree with you that the fact that the governor was actually implementing these things are in process. You remember,
out of budget.
The governor was actually, when the budget was passed, and then they had a peace agreement from Abuja, including the representation of the budget. Now, the governor was taking it step by step. He recognized the House of Assembly. He presented the resigned commissioners as they were moving along the line. The House of Assembly started making laws. Now, the funny thing to note, the funny thing to note, he had not presented before all these crises snowballed again.
Why did he not present?
The funny thing to note, these same people, majority of these same people you have in the House of Assembly were the same people we have in the last 8 years.
Hold on.
And there were no issues.
You're deflecting.
They were making laws.
But the governors were the cause of why the
caretaker committee laws.
Hold on, Zoe. The conversation is not the laws, the caretaker laws. The conversation is, you brought it up, that the governor should be allowed to run the council elections. I don't think anybody's stopping him. Actually, there were agitations before the expiration of the tenure of the council chairman. There were agitations for campaigns to start.
Well, the atmosphere was very difficult to conduct elections.
The governor was silent all that while. That led to the House of Assembly making a law to extend the tenure of this council chairman. You will agree with me. However, that has happened, and now WISEC has given a date. And he raised a very salient question. The governor is operating without a budget. With what budget, what money did he fund WISEC?
When he did not represent,
you can't say.
He did not. Let me tell you, it's clear that an appeal.
That judgment is subject to appeal. I hope you remember.
How can
that judgment is subject to an appeal? It's an appeal court. It's not the final court with regards to the budget.
Has the governor been receiving allocations?
Of course, he has been receiving allocations.
Now, has he been spending from this allocation?
Of course, he has been spending.
With what budget is the governor spending?
There was a budget passed by the River State House of Assembly.
Was that budget cancelled by a court judgment?
No, if it is subject to an appeal.
Of that budget lawful according to the constitution of
according to the constitution, according to the laws of the River State House of Assembly, it is lawful. But I agree with you that yes, appeal court has nullified it, but that is subject to an appeal.
Moving on to the next. So it is okay that the government is running a state without a budget.
You cannot say so. The government did not say so.
I will still remind you on this when you go to River State Emancipation Movement and why you're clamoring for good governance. I'll remind you of this statement. Now, on to the next story. In view of the raging imbroglio in the state, some persons sympathetic to the state government, Imlaye Fubara, have suggested a defection from the PDP following the obvious lack of support from the leadership of the PDP, both at the state and national levels, despite the governor's plight. Franklin Tekim, a political commentator in the state, explained that with the seeming neglect of the governor by the national leadership, it's obvious that he does not enjoy the support of the party. It is also clear that the FCT minister must have won the party to himself and thereby made the PDP in the state to be toxic to the governor. He said, I want him to leave the PDP. I also don't want the former vice president and the presidential candidate of the 2023 elections, Atiku Abubakar, has refused to visit the governor. In the face of the battles he is going through, it is very difficult to believe. It clearly shows a party that does not care for its own, but dances to the whims and caprices of a single man. Solomon Lenu, a right activist, was also in support of the call for Fubara to exit the PDP. According to him, Fubara cannot win any election in the state if he remains in the PDP to conduct the local government election in October. The state chairman of the PDP is also the minister's loyalist. Remember that he refused to attend the stakeholders meeting last Monday by the State Electoral Commission. My fear is that the party may not give tickets to the governor's candidates for the election. This is why the governor should not hesitate to look elsewhere to save his political career. On which party the governor should go to, he said SDP or Accord Party may be okay. I will not want him to make a mistake of going to the Labour Party because its national leadership has been bought over by certain powerful forces in Abuja. The two parties mentioned earlier have a bit of popularity in the state. I would have preferred the Labour Party, but that has been blocked by these forces. Diffusing the call for the governor's defection, the Director General of the Simplified Movement, Governor Fubara's grassroots political group, Honorable Evans BP, said, the governor is the leader of PDP in Rivers State. He has not given us the direction of where to go. Wherever he wants us to go, we will go there, he said. BP, a former chief whip in the House of Assembly, said the appeal court judgment was fair. He said that the judge was right when he said that the High Court in Port Harcourt lacked the jurisdiction to entertain the case. There was no declarative judgment, he said. The judge did not talk about defection. For now, we have to parallel assembly. Responding to the call for Fubara's defection, an elder statesman and a leader of the Pan-Niger Delta's Elders Forum, PANDEF, Chief Anab Saraibe, said it was too early to start agitation for the governor to leave the PDP. He said, to me, the game is becoming clearer, but it is too early for that. Saraibe, a one-time security advisor to the Rivers State government, said, if the governor is not comfortable with his party, he can leave. It is clear that the present leadership of PDP is tilting towards another direction. Like I said, it is too early in the day. Let us wait and see how things will unfold, maybe in 2027. The Labour Party has come out to speak. They said our doors are open. The Rivers State chairman of the Labour Party, Hilda Dokubo, said the doors of the party in the state were open for the governor if he was willing to join the party. She said, the governor is a Nigerian citizen. He has every right to wherever he wants to go. Whether he wants to come to our party or somewhere else, it is his inalienable choice. You cannot stay where you are not welcome or appreciated. If he feels he is in a toxic situation, he should take a walk. Anywhere the governor chooses to go, Rivers people will go with him. They will support him if he comes to my party, the Labour Party. We will gladly welcome him. Let me start with you. Very quickly, Mr. Why? I'd like to start with you. Probably because you're my left. Okay. Very quickly, Mr. Zoe, what is your take?
Well,
do you support the call?
Well, as it were today, the PDP as a party, in fact, I don't know if PDP as a party is still existing because there are people in PDP agitating for the interests of APC.
Okay.
That is in Rivers State now. There are people in APC agitating for the interests of PDP. This is very, very strange.
Why are you limiting it to only two parties?
For now, of course, Rivers State. Rivers State is being dominated.
Let's look at the activities of the Labour Party so far, shall we? Now, you recall initially after the governorship elections, the Labour Party, Beatrice Utubo, Guba candidates, challenged the emergence of Governor Sim Fubara.
Yes.
But then, after a while, when the Rivers State crisis started, the Beatrice Utubo reconciled with
Governor Fubara
and withdrew her matter in court. And then, if you recall, May Day celebration, I was there. Beatrice Utubo was seated there. you know, flanking the powers that be. But she is a member of Labour Party. Now, Hilda Dokubo, who is the state chairman of Labour Party in Rivers State, has been very vocal. You know, Labour Party clearly has a side in this whole imbroglio, and they have been very vocal, you know, with respect to their support for the governor. While some other members of Labour Party as well, the Labour Party leadership has clearly been vocal in support of the governor, probably to woo him if, you know, situations like this arise. However, other members of Labour Party has also taken a side, you know, supporting the FCT minister and council chairman, as the case may be. So it is not about the PDP or APC. Labour Party is also involved. ADC is also
talking about the PDP and APC. I'll come to other party. But the analysis you've just made concerning Beatrice Itubo and Hilda Dokubo, I think it goes beyond party interests. This personality are also considering the bigger picture, which is the interests of Rivers State, especially Hilda Dokubo. I know she's very passionate about good governance in Rivers State. She's very passionate about peace.
She has clearly said she's a job.
Of course.
And right now, the Ijaw people are playing the ethnic card. And she has clearly come out to say it is the turn of the Ijaws.
Well, however, I do not agree.
All that has to be.
Yes, I will not agree with her in that aspect, in terms of looking at it from an ethnic perspective. But I also do not say they are wrong, owing to the fact that the Ijaw ethnic group have, in the last 16 years or 24 years, peacefully supported the other ethnic groups who have produced the governor in Rivers State without any attempt to remove the governor, without creating crisis for the last 3 governors who have come from the upland. So it is just a natural justice that now that it has been agreed and power has moved to the Ijaw ethnic group, the other group...
Was it agreed?
Well, now that not necessarily agree with you, not necessarily agreed.
Right.
It was an imposition to some extent. I told that position. But however, now that it has gone to the other the Ijaw ethnic group, it is just natural that the other ethnic group, for the sake of peace, to reign, to support this governor and see how this other, so that the state can just move forward peacefully. So to the extent that I do not agree that governorship should be reduced to ethnic group, that this ethnic group should produce governor, no, I am of the opinion that whoever has the competence, whoever has the character, whoever has the capacity and the courage to lead Rivers State as governor should be our governor, irrespective of where he or she is from. Okay, so that is my position, but I sympathize with those who are just like the story of Moses and the Israelites and Egyptians that were fighting. Moses saw it and he has that sympathy, you know, that is that ethnic feeling. So to that I give it to him, that Dokbo. But moving forward, we shouldn't be looking at governorship by ethnic group. Rivers State is one. Look,
do you support the call for the governor to exit PDP? I don't want you to go far away.
Let me conclude my thought. You see, Rivers State is unique to the extent that the way we are ethnic, our different ethnic groups, when we come together, see, the only thing that makes us different in Rivers State is our languages. We speak different languages. Every other culture, religion that binds people together are similar across board in Rivers State. So we should take advantage of that diversity rather than use it to create disunity to ourselves in politics. Now, going to your question, that it doesn't stand a chance in PDP. Now, there is something you need to recognize. Fubara has the support of Rivers people. He should not confuse that to anything. Rivers people, whether upland, whether riverine, even the local government of his opponents, he has their support. Now, let me draw your attention to one thing, and this is one thing Rivers people should learn from. Do you know that during the period where they were asking the former local government chairman to leave the council secretariat because their tenure have ended, do you notice that it was not Fubara's people, say like the Opopo people or riverine people that went to the upland, Ikwere, Ogoni, Axis to exit this local government chairman.
You really want to bring
No. I want to lay a foundation why the governor should or should not.
Right.
So it is the people from Ikwere that ask. It is the people from Ikwere that ask the Ikwere local government chairman to exit the local government. It is the people from Ogoni. That is to tell you that Rivers people are one as far as these issues are concerned, and they are behind the governor. Right. But the party is not behind the governor. So he is him who wear the shoes. He knows how he is in the party mainstream. So he should know that decision should be left for him. But looking at it from an outsider, looking at it as an outsider, it is very obvious that the party structures, both national and the state level, are not with the governor. Right. And no governor will want to function in a party that he doesn't have their support. Right. No governor will want to conduct an election where another party or somebody else owning the structure of the party will win the election and keep the governor in a position where he's not in charge in the political machinery of the state. No governor will do that. So if he decides to, I will fully give him my support to go to another party. If he, after all, politics is all about winning election. So if he stay in a party where